case. So, there's a lot going on here. Shannon, what do you read into Jerry's comments?
Skip, having played the game 14 years, having covered it, this is the one thing I do know about coaches, and they always try, and coaches and owners, they always shy away from, is comparing their players to some other players. Because no matter what you're trying to do, there's a chance that that player might perceive that as a slight. And the one thing that you don't want to happen, you know this very well, Skip Bayless, because you've had a lot of intimate, private conversations behind the scenes when a coach or an owner has said something and the player might have taken it in a way and that maybe the owner or the coach didn't mean it. Correct. So that's why you stay away from comparison. Says, hey, I like the guy that we have, knowing all the way, man, I'd love to have another guy over there instead of the guy I got in my locker room.
What did you always say about your first Pro Bowl when they're asking you what it's like playing with Dan Marino? You don't want to say,
oh, man, he can throw. I got John Elway. Man, hey, I got 7. I'll take 7. So, and I think that's the thing that Jerry has to understand. Jerry wants to be honest and I understand that he loves Tony Romo. But Tony Romo ain't win you no titles. Now, if you want to say Troy Aikman stacked them Lombardis in there. But to say, I don't get it, Skip. This love that he has for Tony Romo, when Tony Romo never got him to an NFC Championship game, in all the years he was the quarterback, Dak is only in his 5th year now. So there's still an opportunity for Dak to get him there, but he's never bought in to Dak because maybe Dak does not have the flair for the dramatic that Tony Romo. There's a reason why, Tony Romo would throw 3 picks. Well, if Tony Romo brings me back after throwing 3 picks, hell, that's the least he could have done. He dug the hole that got me in this spot. So at least get me out of it. But Jerry, if Dak is anything like me, he's hearing this and he's saying to himself, this, still don't believe in me. That's why I don't have the contract. It don't have anything else to do with anything about no cap, about this, or about that. He doesn't believe that I'm worth this. And he's, Skip, it's not going to end well because Jerry can't keep his mouth closed. It's as simple as that, Skip. He's the owner of the team. He's worth $8 billion. But when you're dealing with players, you have to be careful what you say and how you say it.
Jerry not keeping his mouth closed is nothing new.
No.
Right?
No.
I completely and utterly agree with everything you just said. The problem in analyzing what Jerry just said on the radio in Dallas, Texas, is it's tricky because it's always a little cryptic. You have to read a little bit between the lines here to get to your takeaway, which I believe is the correct takeaway. The bottom line to this is why he dug in and said, I offer you this. We go back and forth on exactly what it was. You said it was a fair offer, but it wasn't an offer you can't refuse. It was one of those that, okay, it's pretty good.
That's nice. That's nice. That's a lot of money.
It's pretty good. It's a lot of money. In fact, if it was 80 guaranteed up at signing,
I mean, Skip, think about it. You go from $2 million a year to $33, $34 million a year.
And I was told it was more 36-ish, but whatever. I was also told they want 40-ish, low 40s per year at only 4 years versus 5. Whatever. For whatever reason, Jerry said, too rich for even my blood. He has a reputation for overpaying his stars, who are all like sons to him, but to Dak's credit, Dak is kept an arm's length from Jerry. And it's probably operating in this quote because I don't think Jerry feels deep, devoted love to Dak because Dak has never reciprocated the love, right?
Skip, I believe, because remember when they were thinking, Dak has always been very receptive to Jason Garrett. I believe when Tony Romo got healthy, Jerry Jones wanted to reinsert Tony Romo into the starting lineup. I believe it was Jason Garrett that fought tooth and nail for Dak Prescott to keep this job.
I believe that.
And Dak Prescott never forgot that. He never forgot the guy that went to bat for him and says, okay, so that's where his loyalty is. And he's always going to Heisman pose Jerry. I don't care if Jerry pays him $60 million. He's going to Heisman pose him because he knows deep down if you'd have got your way, you'd have put Tony Romo back into this lineup. Skip, Tony Romo hadn't been his quarterback in how long? And you bring up Tony Romo?
Somehow Jerry got it in his head that Romo was a walk-off wizard.
Yes!
And I got to rack my brain here. Maybe I'm forgetting several.
Denver.
But wait, I got Denver, but he threw one to Witten against the Giants. At the buzzer.
Yes.
It was just a turn in at the, like at the goal line,
Right.
where he just hooked up at the
Yes.
goal line and just walled off the defender and caught it for the touchdown
Right.
that won the game.
Yes.
Okay, I give you that one. But will I ever get over what happened against Peyton and the Broncos at Jerry World?
No.
Because he threw for what, 506?
Yeah, 506 most.
506, and you got the ball in your hands late in the game, and you
Tie
throw
ball
it,
game.
You throw it to Trevathan,
Yes.
Danny Trevathan,
Yes.
who wears orange.
Right.
He's in orange.
And
No.
Skip, that's the thing. He had this perception that Romo was better than he actually was. He was talking like Romo was Brady, like he was Manning, like he's been Drew Brees.
Right.
He has not been.
Okay, he did have that extemporaneous gene in him where the play could completely
Yes.
break down. He had some basketball athletic escapability where he could
He was an
spin
outstanding
out.
athlete.
Yeah, he
A
could
heck of a
spin out
golfer.
it.
He played great basketball.
He's a point guard.
Yes.
And they said he could really play.
Yes.
But he could spin out of a sack.
Yes.
And, you know, sidearm it 40 yards down the field. A lot of times Dez was just going up and jumping
and catching. Correct.
Okay, we get that. But there's something he sees missing in Dak. So he gave Dak the escape the other day. What Dak did as a, what is he, 6'2", 240-ish or
Yes.
so? When he broke free of the sack and kept his balance.
We said it on Monday. How the hell did he get out of that,
How
Skip?
did he get out of it, and how did he maintain his uprightness? You know, like he did not fall to the turf. Okay, then he comes up and he doesn't have a great grip on the ball because he almost lost the ball on the turf. So he doesn't have the laces, and he throws a bit of a wobbler. But Jerry is, I'm not going to say condemning him. He's criticizing between the lines.
Basically, he said Tony Romo would have thrown it. He got it, would have caught it.
Like he's saying that Dak couldn't come up and find somebody. I didn't really see anybody who was open.
Because
I saw more Seattle.
If I'm not mistaken, Skip, it was 3rd and 14.
Yep.
And it's, 20 seconds? So so Dak's like, let me heave this to the end zone. Because you have no more timeouts. If you catch the ball in bounds, the game is over.
No, do or die.
So Dak says, I got to get the ball to the end zone.
But Jerry's suggesting that Russell Wilson or Tony Romo would have found a jersey that they could have thrown it to, you know, a blue jersey, or, you know, like found a Cowboy jersey, right? Or Russell would have found a Seahawks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's a wizard,
Yes.
you know, but Romo, not a wizard.
Right.
I'm not buying that. Romo would be just as likely to throw a pick six going the other way.
Romo probably would have fumbled. But see, that's the thing, Skip. All he does is look at Romo's crowning moments. He never looked at Romo bobbling the snap that would have beat them in Seattle with a walk-off field goal.
That happened
He
in
never
Seattle.
mentioned that. He never mentions the times that the more times that Romo has failed.
What did I call him half the time? Tony Uh-oh? 'Cause it
Yes.
was Tony Uh-oh.
Yes.
Look out.
So,
It's a disaster.
But in Jerry's mind, Tony Romo won every game that he was a part of. And that he thinks, I think he's getting it confused with Romo and Aikman. It was Aikman that stacked those 3 Super Bowls, not Romo. But he has this fascination. Maybe he's like a son because he said that's like his son. And he treats him like Steven, like Jerry Jr., like Charlotte, like he's one of his kids.
He does. I would agree. So I think he's looking at Dak somewhat the way you view him, as empty calories. Because Dak, again, last year, 2019, he led the NFL in second half passing. Well, heck, the offense led the NFL in yards gained.
Right.
Okay? So he is a high-level statistical producer.
Right.
But they went 8-8.
Right.
Because too often, as you know, last year, we had too many of these same kind of games. I keep watching the same movie where he puts on like an extraordinary second half passing clinic against Atlanta. They pulled it off. They shouldn't have. It was a miracle. They didn't deserve it, but they won. Against the Rams, I thought he had pulled it off because I did not think that was offensive pass interference. So I give Dak that one. But then the other day, it becomes do or die, and he comes up and just heaves it in the end zone. Well, some of that's just pure luck.
Well, Jerry might have to pull a Philip Drummond and may have to adopt Dak Prescott and start treating him like a son and get some results that he wants to. But Skip,
maybe.
But if you look at this, Jerry makes it seem like he's giving Dak more talent than he's giving Romo. Does he realize that he gave Romo T.O.? Does he realize that he had Jason Witten in his absolute prime?
He did.
And he had an offensive line that could run.
And he had Des Bryant at his apex.
And he had Marion Barber. He had guys that could run. DeMarco Murray, a dominant offensive line that was young and dominant. And you look at the defense with DeMarcus Ware and those guys that he had over there, Greg Ellis, Skip, the Cowboys have always had talent, and they've underachieved even under Romo. Now, all of a sudden, Jerry perceives that they're vastly underachieving because of the quarterback. Jerry, your defense is terrible.
Hey, Tony Romo was 13-3 with a week off for a home playoff game. And Eli went in there and just did a number on him.
Did a number on him, Skip. So, Jerry, Skip, I just don't understand the fascination that Jerry has with Romo, like he just won him like Brady, like won him all these Lombardis.
Final takeaway.
They won 2 playoff games,
I know,
Tony.
that's right. Final takeaway. This is not going to end. I got it. You got it.
Isn't. I know Jerry always gives us material, but if you're Dak and you wake up and you see these quotes, that can't sit well with you. That would be hard to play with. Guys, LeBron, his quest for a fourth title, we are getting so close to watching him back in action. Chris Broussard will join us and tell us just how concerned the Lakers should be.